This is just AMZN on Tuesday, April 13th, 2021. We had another open that really ran up quickly. This didn't quite give us the range in the day, but we had a really nice just move with the 3,500 call again. But after this initial candle, it really just lost value all day long, at least the call. We put in a really nice triangle. Let me draw this in real quick here. So a really clean triangle here like this, or you can kind of draw it this way. You know, it just depends on how you draw that. I was looking for, if I can draw it straight, I was looking for the level around 9 here to, you know, break. It retested, broke down. I was looking for this to come back up to here and roll over again, which it did end up rolling over. It just didn't quite get back up that high. And when it did that, I was looking for this to come back down here and put in another low similar to this one. So I had an order on the 3350 put at 7, buying at 7, stop at 6, didn't fill, obviously, never got down that far. But it was a really good place to be setting up a trade. I mean, we've run up quickly. We've run up really quickly here. It's been spread out over 2 weeks, but it's just been a nice, incredible rally. And then we were pushing right into this high again. It's like 34 is the high from this candle back 2 months ago. Here we are today, 34.32. If it's going to break out from here, who's buying it? And bears are going to come in. So, you know, even this candle, it's like, that's starting to break out. Why is it going that way some more? To push into this high. I was saying, you know, start to lock in some profits when we're pushing these highs. Here we are all the way up at this one, and sure enough, we get a little bit of bearishness. That said, the this candle, it only closed bearish by less than $1. 85 cents was the total move from the open to the close. Not the total move, just the move from the open to the close. You have a high, you have a low, obviously, but really had a nice setup with this triangle breakdown. There was opportunities to buy in here around 750, and I just missed out on that. If I bought at 750, I would have been looking for 1050 as a target. It wouldn't have gotten there here, but I could have held that literally to the end of the day, last like 30. Let's see, when did it hit 1050? It would have been on this candle. So 20 minutes before the end of the day, a target would have filled of 1050 had I gotten in at 750. But you also had some other opportunities to get in around 8 over here as it's retesting. I mean, this just the way this line really lines up. It tags some of these lows earlier in the day. We break down, retest, almost get right back into that line, and then does a double top. You know, it just starts to roll over here, and that incredible rollover. The other thing I'm seeing, so this, let me draw the triangle again. I didn't say this when I had this up, but this and then this, sometimes what I've seen is you'd go right into a breakdown and then you go into another triangle where you would have something has a triangle shape, and this one doesn't quite work, but it's close. And actually another way of doing it is where you actually would have kind of an ascending triangle here to oppose the descending triangle over here. And it's just kind of like a fancy S-curve when it does that. Not fancy, but like it actually just, I don't know, you have just more chop through here for the up part of the S, and then you have more chop down here for the down part of the S, and you want to be buying down here normally when you expect it to continue up like this. So that's something I've seen. This wasn't lining up like that. We were just continuing basically to make lower highs and relative lows. So we had, it's actually kind of working opposite on the 5 minute. We had higher highs through here, higher lows, then it broke down, and then we started making slightly lower highs, maybe relative highs and relative lows. So this was really just a lot of chop all day. A really choppy candle, indecision candle at a resistance. This is a great place for it to pull back some, at least to get back into the 5. That would be a move of about 50 points, probably, maybe a little bit more, depending on how much higher the 5 exponential comes up tomorrow. But like I said, there were some great opportunities to be buying around, like even if I had bought at 8 and moved my my trade up to get in at 8 and a stop at, or a target at 11. I could have my stop at 7, would have been a great setup for a 3-hour move, and it would have filled at that target towards the end of the day. I probably would have been looking to move the stop up, and probably, I think I only would have gotten maybe, I want to say I would have gotten 9, but even that, I don't know if I would have. Let's see, what would I have done? So if I had been in, let's zoom in on this because I need to think through what would that have worked out to be. So if I got in at 8, stop at 7, it would have filled over here. I would have been getting it over here. I missed this, would have been getting it over here. No, would have let this play out, would have had it set up to get in at 8 here, stop at 7, and a target of 11. When it ran up to 10, the same previous resistance, I think I would have gotten out for 2 hours, exiting at 10, because this is a nice resistance. You'd expect it to pull back, and it had run right back into this level. So I think I would have gotten 2 hours as a target on that move, especially after it pushed up to this candle, doesn't quite get up to 10. And let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So after 35 minutes, I would have been moving that stop up to 8, at least, no, probably, I think I would have done 750 just to reduce how much I would lose. I wouldn't have put it at 8 just because I'm only an R away, like if it had pulled back immediately from 9 back to 8, I would have been break even. I don't want to be break even. I don't want to get out at 8 and be break even on the day. I want to get this. I would have waited for this. No, I would have moved the stop to 750. When this came back down to 9, I would have looked like, okay, there's some resistance here, some resistance here. If we can get back up to 10, I'll get out. Yeah, so we would have moved the target to 10, and I wouldn't have had to move the stop. Now, if this had held no, I would have been out already. I was thinking if this had held, I could have moved the stop up to 9, but no, I would have done 850 here. And if it didn't get back up to 10, I would have only gained half an hour. So yeah, it's I would have either gotten 2 hour or would have been probably trailed out at 850, hopefully gotten half an hour. Just if I had not gotten out at 10 and was still stubbornly looking for that 11, that didn't come until later. But I mean, this is one of those things where, let me draw this, where you've got some higher lows. No, they're not as clean. They're not the incremental dollars I've talked about, but there are definitely some places that you could just be buying. So buying down here at like 750, 8, 850. I mean, that's only, 2 increments or 3, kind of depending on how you count it. But yeah, that would have been a nice gain to get in anywhere over in here and just let it run up, or even to get out at 10. That's the 3350 put. Further away wouldn't have worked as well. Closer would have been a little more expensive. There was not a lot of premium getting. Let me look at the next one before I finish that sentence. So if I look at 3375, yeah, I was just thinking the premium wasn't really coming out as this was making higher highs. The premium was not getting sucked out of the puts. I think the market makers were keeping it high with the anticipation that there should be some rollover coming in. There should be some bearish move coming in. And so they don't want to make the puts cheaper. I think that's what that boils down to. So the 3,400, yeah, that just, it kind of rounded off, but it didn't just drop like you would see, when it's making a directional move. So back to 3350. Here we go here. So we'll keep an eye on this. We'll see if this, which way we go, if we do any gapping. Right now, after hours at this time, we're only down a couple points. So anything goes for the morning. We could gap up. We could pointing at the wrong thing. We could gap up. We could gap down. It would be great if we ran into this red line again. But it's nice seeing this one come back into play. I think the next one will be here. So maybe around 3380 towards open, or I mean, if we bounce off of that, but we've got some old support that we broke down through. Sorry, we had some support today. We broke down through the end of the day. If we can retrace up to retest this as new resistance, or as this as resistance, that could help us move down a little bit further. And then obviously we've had a lot of bullish move. We've had some typical gaps, not so much bullish gaps, bullish retest gaps, bullish retest gap here. Today's was a bullish retest gap. So, if we rest a little bit, we can continue on higher. But at this point, with this clean resistance up here still held by today's candle, I would think a little more bearishness would come in, at least to pull us back to rest a little bit more. So hope that helps. This is Justin Amazon. Thanks.